from point guard to center. This game should be a good one. First for the Nets, Kyrie Irving is out there with Mills. And it's Andre Drummond at 6'1" and 275 pounds, the big athletic presence out of the University of Connecticut inside at center. Then there's Edwards. And it's Durant in at the 4 slot. And then for the Boston Celtics, Smart is out there with Brown. We've got Williams. You simply have to respect the tremendous skill he has down low, the work ethic and athletic ability to make a big impact under the boards. And it's Horford in at the power forward.
Well, you know, last season, I think, officially brought the immediate championship aspirations of the Celtics to a close. The 7th seed in the East, dispatched in the first round by the Knicks. The rebuild was on in full cycle. And I'll bet that's what they talked about before the game. You know, getting the ball inside early.
Well, it worked to perfection there. I like the game plan. Get it inside, force the defense to react, and then play off your big men.
Nice shot by Smart. Smart's got his first basket of the night. And back to the Celtics, making the playoffs, sure, but, you know, not like Steve back in 08 or 2010.
Well, this has been a phenomenal era with KG and Pierce that is now a thing of the past. But look, they've hoisted a championship banner very close to another, but it's just time to move on. And that's just the way it is in the NBA. These things go in waves, and the Celtics now in rebuilding mode. Not the best shot, long range and with a defender right in his space.
And defensively, that's the kind of work he's known for. I mean, he loves to lock you up.
Well, his body control is what I notice. I think that jumps off the page when you watch him play. Even with a defender draped all over him, he's able to find a way to get to the rim and get the shot to go in.
And his body control is something else I like about him. I'm not sure how he does it, but the way he's able to hang in the air and change his shot to get it around the defender is purely amazing.
Passes it to Edwards. Back to Irving. Shot clock at 6. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
It's got to be nice for them to know that game in and game out, his offense is going to be there for him.
Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by.
Guys, when his class came out, people thought Irving was the clear-cut #1 player, but I don't think anybody saw him taking the league by storm the way he has. It's almost like he's surpassed all of his expectations already.
Pass to Smart. All sorts of time. Up again. And Williams with the stuff.
He sniffed out that board and then powered it back in.
Pure Mike Clark, so strong going back up with that one.
That's exactly what he's capable of, guys. So strong.
Dishes it to Irving. He passes it to Edwards. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. And pushing it up, here's Boston. Brown, good.
Boy, the floor really opened up for him there.
It sure did. I mean, that was a very late reaction from the defense there.
And a fun stat for Irving. He's just the 5th player, Steve, in NBA history to tally 3 consecutive 40-point games before his 21st birthday. That's remarkable.
You know, you look at him now at commercials. I mean, the play, the caliber of play. This guy's a rising star.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
I had a chance to talk with the head coach for Brooklyn. He talked about the impact that Al Horford can have on a game and how they'll have their work cut out for them dealing with him. He said Horford's just a complete ball player. He does all the things you want from a big man. He can shoot, handle, and pass. He's always a tough matchup, but it starts with matching his energy level. Kevin will see if they have what it takes.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. And out of bounds as the Nets gain possession.
Difficult to explain that turnover. I mean, I guess he thought he had more room than he did, but he really lost his place on the court.
And a new group in for the Nets. Brooklyn's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game.
A big change for the Nets, who stormed up the leaderboard in the East and even had a chance at taking a very tough Atlantic division last season. They actually were in the picture for the title until the end.
And you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
It's Dragic with the drive. Durant. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
Right back to the basics there, using the one-hand slam for that one.
Doesn't he make the basics look pretty exceptional?
Yeah, he does. They look sweet when he does them.
Well, he should stay with those basics in a tight ball game because we've got one here tonight.
And the Nets' first goal going forward this year is to make that jump into the best team in New York and the rest of the division. Steve, a lot of strong teams in the Atlantic, but they do well against them.
Yeah, last year they had the best interdivision record than anybody in the Atlantic. So, if you can take care of business within your division, it always puts you in a good position down the stretch.
Fades. And that one hits back iron.
The fadeaway was the right shot there because it got his attempt away from the defender, but the touch was poor.
Floats one. Brooklyn with the rebound. It's a 6-point game. Dragic kicks to Durant. That's in, coming off an assist from Dragic. And that's 10 points for Kevin Durant.
What a quarter for him at the offensive end. He's ignored the scoreboard and continued to go out there and do his thing.
Kicks it to White. Brown outside. There's Williams with the three. No good. A good game so far as we conclude the first quarter. Celtics lead by... Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for Boston.
Well, they've definitely had the hot hand from the three-point line so far. Always nice to start out like that.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
Thomas kicks to Dragic. And stolen by White by himself. And it's blocked by Brown. They get it back. Tries again. And it's White missing.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
And it's Brown missing. Celtics leading by 3. It's Brown on the win. Griffin with the steal. And even 3-on-3 break. Shot by Brown. And it's White with the rebound. Boston's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Rejected by Griffin. And here comes Brown, leading the fast break. And again, it's the Nets missing. For Boston, they've gone 0-3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second quarter. Williams dishes to White. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. And it's out of bounds. The Celtics will take it the other way. And a new group out there on the floor for the Nets. The Celtics with the lead. Tatum covered by Mills. Out to Smith. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in. Smith's got the first points up on the board here in the second quarter for the Celtics. Brooklyn with the ball. We're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. Irving with the ball. Now guarded by Smart. Irving passes to Mills. He kicks it to Griffin. The Nets working the ball around now. Irving, good.
You know, defensively, you cannot forget about him. He gave him a wide open look there.
The Celtics have gotten only one of their first 4 shots in the second quarter to drop.
Guys, the Celtics went from being a powerhouse in the East and middle of the pack last season, but they still protected their home court as well as anybody. Easy to find inspiration here with the parquet floor under your shoes and the banners hanging over top.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Gentlemen, Muhammad was once regarded as a contender for the top pick in this year's draft, but his stock fell after a year at UCLA. Some said he was too one-dimensional as a scorer. Then it was revealed that he'd lied about his age, pretending to be 1 year younger than he actually was. Now with a chip on his shoulder, out to prove that the hype was warranted. Muhammad said, quote, "I've always had a killer instinct, and that's what separated me. I'm trying to show no mercy." Kevin?
Extremely poised and confident. Thanks, Doris. You do have to love the parquet floor here, as you said, Clark. Pride certainly a factor last season, as the Celtics were able to finish, Steve, with a 27-13 record here at their home.
And even though the Celtics would end up just as the 7th seed in the East, you knew they would control their home floor, but just because of their veteran experience, their talent, their coaching. So they were really able to ride that home court into the playoffs.
It was a slow start for him, but he started to take off since we hit the second quarter, guys.
Tatum drills the three-pointer. And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn.
And up and down season for the Nets last year. The playoffs were just more of the same. They ended up getting knocked out by the Bulls in the only first-round matchup that went to 7 games.
Nets trailed by 3. Outside Irving. Back to Griffin. 11 feet away. And that's off the glass and in. Griffin's got his first points of the night. Well, back to the Nets in the playoffs. They lost a game at Barclays early and looked to be on the ropes down 3-1 after 4 games, but they did well just to steal one in Chicago and force a game 7.
What a strange series that was. The Bulls made that miracle comeback behind Nate Robinson in 1 game and then ended up going on the road to Brooklyn and winning game 7. What a disappointment for the Nets in their debut season in Brooklyn. You know, they haven't been able to open up a big lead, but the rebounds are starting to add up for them. They may be able to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, they've been doing the dirty work inside, Steve, playing a very tough brand of basketball.
They didn't get off to much of a start early on, but seems to have shaken off the rust here in the quarter.
And Mills kicks to Irving. Outside Griffin. Mills. Back to Griffin. Lock at 6. The dish to Mills. Let's keep it alive. Celtics leading by 3. Smith on the wing. And Griffin sends it back.
I'd like to see them go 2 for 1 here.
I would too. They need to make this a quick possession and a fruitful one too.
Shoots from the right block. And the whistle blew, so that'll be a shooting foul. Great defensive effort there with the blocked shot. But he got more than just the ball that time. Free throws coming up right now. The Celtics shooting their second and third shots at the line right here.
Well, you look back at a season ago, this is a club that made 78% of its shots from the free throw line, so very comfortable with that strike.
You knew that at some point the window for the group of Celtics that had won a title was going to close. I mean, it was inevitable, but last year it seemed like they were going to go for one last hurrah as they added some depth and looked to reload for another run.
And the shot is good.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And I would continue to do it. You'll force the defense to maybe send a double team. Now you've got other options to work with offensively.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
The 3 from Mills, and that one's good. Mills has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Outside Thomas. Williams inside. Plenty that time from Drummond.
Pretty good defense there. I mean, that's a shot that he can make, but they really challenged him.
Close game as we wrap up the second quarter.
Now, presented by Sprint.
And welcome to halftime. We got a close game right now.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far.
Talk about a terrific game for Irving. He's got 14 points, and he's hit the mark twice from three-point range as well.
Well, it's no secret. I mean, the more points he can come up with from out there, the better off they'll be offensively with their spacing.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Yes, guys, the Brooklyn Nets going all in this season. With a team payroll of about $100 million, they have an additional luxury tax bill of around $75 million. Guys, the owner's sparing no expense in constructing this roster. But no question, a high burden of expectation for what they'll achieve. It's championship or bust.
No doubt about that. Thank you, Doris. Smart with the ball. Guarded now by Irving. Now here's Smart. Top of the key jumper, no good.
Awesome defense. I mean, he'll hit those unless you're right in his grill.
Mills dishes to Drummond. Outside Irving. The shot goes down and gets this game back to even. Irving's got the first bucket of the third here for the Nets. Boston's gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly.
You know, a lot of players in this league are so clever with the ball, they can make defenders look foolish. That's what Kyrie Irving does. I mean, he's just a magician with the ball.
That's not how you want to kick off the second half with 3 straight misses.
It's Durant on the wing. For the lead, the rebound by the Celtics. And going back to Kyrie Irving, ambidextrous, they say, with the ball in his hand.
He really is. He can go both ways, and he plays with such great pace and energy offensively. Keeps the ball tight on a string. A true point guard. And I think his assist numbers will only climb as the offensive players around him continue to get better.
Steve was saying he was amphibious. I didn't understand that at all. And here comes Brown, leading the fast break. Horford with it, now guarded by Mills. Feeds to Smart. Lots of room. Cannot hit. And it's the Nets taking it the other way.
And the offense continues to struggle. Just one make in their 5 attempts.
You know, as great as 2012 was for the Nets, in many ways, they really came up short on their last game of that calendar year. In 2012, the New Year's Eve matchup against the Spurs, the Nets only scored 5 points in the third quarter of that contest.
And on the way from Irving for 3. Boston's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Pass to Horford. Lets it go from deep. Wow.
Hey guys, it's his consistent shooting. It's really helped get his team into a position they're in right now.
And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. Irving, defended by Smart. Inside. The kick out to Irving. Thomas. Durant, guarded by Horford. And that one's good. Durant. And Clark, you were talking about the Nets. They went from looking like a team that could compete for a title to a team that, while still talented, Steve, and a lot for the playoffs, was a little closer to the middle of the pack than they thought.
Well, with the hot start they got out to, I think it was just a matter of time before they hit a cold stretch. Never fun to be held to just 5 points in a quarter. And that game had a lot of Nets fans wondering how the rest of the season would go. But, hey, they got it back together and still finished off pretty well.
His eyes were wide open there, guys. Excellent vision to see they had an open shot outside and get it there.
Nets trailed by 4. Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. Thomas, the feed to Irving. Back to Thomas. Takes the 3. Rebound Boston. Williams has got his 5th rebound in this one. Got a piece of it. In transition, here come the Nets. Durant's running. Horford with the block. And that's out of bounds. Brooklyn will retain possession. And a new group in for the Nets. Durant with it. Williams picks him up. And Durant, here we go. Down to 5 on the shot clock. This one for 3. Good. Durant's got 5 points in the quarter.
You know, what an advantage he brings to this offense, guys. I mean, being able to drain the 3 ball, that really can spread a defense and extend the defense as well.
30 seconds left in the third. Nice ball movement by Boston. Gets it to go. And the Celtics lead by 3.
That's pretty much been the norm for them. Getting their points off assists and great ball movement.
Nice rhythm and flow for this team. Tremendous communication and alertness.
There's a good screen. The pass to Thomas. To the inside. And the layup is good.
Well, they certainly didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Well, that's important because this game, I think, is going to be decided by who controls the paint in crunch time.
Tatum, and no good trying to get that one. It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of... Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Celtics.
Well, they forced a decent number of turnovers in this one, fellas, and they've turned most of those turnovers into points.
Now, it seems to me that they're taking a lot of pride in their rebounding tonight, especially at the offensive end, guys.
Back to White. He dishes it to Williams. White. On the high post. Again, the Celtics good for two.
Kevin, he's got such a great focus as a shooter. He's a very frustrating player to guard because unless you actually block his shot, you are not going to get in his head and affect him.
And you know what else I like about him, Steve? He'll do whatever it takes to help that team out. We've seen him take some absolutely gut-wrenching charges that a lot of other guys would simply avoid.
The Celtics with the lead. Right side, White. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. Deflects the pass. Here's Durant. And he misses the go-ahead basket. Boston shooting 47%. Pretty solid. Tatum. And it's blocked by Brown. And out of bounds as the Nets gain possession. Andre Drummond's checked in for Brooklyn. Edwards comes in for Brown. We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. Here's Durant. And out of bounds as the Celtics gain possession.
You cannot afford to make mistakes like that here in a tight game.
And it's the Celtics ball. They lead by 1. There's the pick. Down low. Gets it to go. Brooklyn's gotten a positive outcome on 7 of their 14 three-pointers in this game. Not bad at all. Dragic kicks to Drummond. Durant. Drummond sets the screen for Durant. Outside Thomas. And stolen by Thomas. And here's the fast break. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. And the Celtics lead by 5.
Boy, they are just destroying them in the paint.
You could say that again, Steve. The defenders just aren't aggressive enough down low.
Kyrie Irving, he's checked in for Goran Dragic. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
I was able to listen in on what the Nets coach was going over with his team. He told them it's time to fight and take the lead. Let's put ourselves in position to bring it home. Guys, we'll see if they've got what it takes to get it done.
Thank you, Doris. 6 on the shot clock. Durant for 3. And the Nets miss again. Outside Irving. And that's out of bounds. Brooklyn will retain possession. Williams is checked in for Boston. Smart comes in for Thomas. Durant just inside the line. And right on target with the swish. Durant's got 9 points here in the second half. Boston leading by 3. Out of bounds, Celtics ball as Boston keeps possession. Celtics ball. Here's Smart. Outside, White. The tray. Gets it to go. White's got 5 points in the quarter.
Seems like guarding him on the perimeter is not a priority for this defense, but it will become one if he continues to knock them down.
Nets trail by 6. And Durant, here we go. The kick out to Irving. Back to Durant. Puts up a 3. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. Irving's got 3 assists now in this one.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today. They need it.
Back to Horford. He feeds it to Smart. Passes to Horford. Dishes to Smart. And again, Buxton with the triple.
Incredible. Only took them a few seconds to answer the 3-ball with one of their own.
Let's keep this thing going, guys. I love seeing a 3-point battle like this.
1:51 left in the fourth quarter. Irving attacking. Pass to Edwards. Back to Irving. He passes to Edwards. 6 to shoot. And Durant gets it to go.
I like the way he's not forcing anything, taking advantage of what the defense is giving. He's been a key contributor for them in this quarter.
Now a timeout called by Boston. They're leading by 4. 1:31 left in the fourth quarter. The Nets making a switch here. Mills is checked in. Now here's Smart. He's covered by Irving. Kicks it to Smart. The Celtics working the ball around now. It's Brown with the drive. There's the dish to Horford. Fires the 3. Shot no good. So Brooklyn will take it the other way. And Kevin Durant again. Now just a 2-point Boston lead.
Man, he has been their unquestioned leader offensively this quarter.
Smart kicks to Brown. Smart. 55 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Horford. And it's Horford again missing.
Boy, they're fortunate. The defense was taking a big chance leaving him that wide open behind the arc.
Irving drives in. Drummond to tie it up. Got a piece of it. And pushing it up. Here's Boston. Yes!
Oh, that is a massive shot.
You know it is. He's stepping right into the spotlight.
.27 seconds left in the game. Here's Mills. He's covered by Brown. And on the way from Irving for 3. It's in! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
And that's what you love to do as the road team, Kevin. Hit the big shots to take the crowd right out of it.
Yeah, they've done that for sure.
They sure have. And that shot right there had a huge effect on this crowd.
And they go to the intentional foul.
Yeah, you got to freeze the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
A few misses at the line, and they're in good shape.
Good on the first, and that will put them up by 2. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
Absolutely massive free throw. That'll force them into a 3-point attempt.
.12 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Mills passes to Durant. For the tie. Oh, he had a chance there to